A pleasant good evening, everyone, from BB&T Point in High Point, North Carolina. Dave Collins with you as the Lancaster Barnstormers take on the High Point Rockers here in the second game of a three-game series. The Barnstormers victorious last night in a thriller here. Lancaster with the victory in 10 innings, 7-6. The Barnstormers tied it up in the top of the ninth inning before the first out. They couldn't push the go-ahead run across the plate in the ninth inning, then survived the bottom half of the ninth behind Pedro Echemendia. The Barnstormers got the gift runner home from second base, Caleb Gindel, with an RBI single performing the trick. And then Cody Upley held on in the bottom half of the 10th inning for his 10th save of the season. Tonight, the Barnstormers will send John Anderson to the mound in the middle game of the series. John is 5-4 with a 4.77 earned run average. He has not at any point faced the High Point Rockers as a starter. He was not in there during our last visit here. However, he did pitch to them twice in relief on the opening homestand of the season, and he was very successful in doing so. He picked up a win and threw 4 innings without allowing an earned run. His mound opponent tonight is right-hander Tyler Herron. Herron is 2-4 on the year with a 4.74 earned run average. And if you're the Rockers, and in a sense the Barnstormers tonight, you really just don't know what you are going to get out of Herron. He has had 3 starts this year of 6 or more innings where he has not allowed a run, and at other times he's given up as many as 10. So the overall numbers are very much in the middle for Herron. It will be the first time that the Barnstormers will be facing the right-hander who was a former first-round draft choice and most recently pitched in the American Association a year ago. The All-Star rosters will be announced sometime later this week. It could be as soon as tomorrow. It may not be until Friday. And the Barnstormers will be represented there. And I wanted to discuss on the Dugout Report tonight, I was hoping to get some fan involvement here through social media, but I've only gotten one response to this question. So perhaps you could chime in during the commercial break. But who would you recommend among the 2019 Lancaster Barnstormers to head to York next Wednesday and play in the All-Star game? We'll talk about it when we come back on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
And Rockers fans, the starting lineup.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Wow, season 15. Can you believe it? Gockenauer Appliance is proud to be back partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers again this season, and has been since day one. We are also proud to be celebrating our 70th year of business this season, and wanted to thank all of you for your support in business over all these years. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about some great offers and giveaways we have for you during this 15th season of Barnstormers Baseball.
So the Lancaster Barnstormers will be sending a contingent to the All-Star game at York's People's Bank Park, the game coming up next Wednesday. And I wanted to entertain the thoughts of who you think should be going to that All-Star game. Amy Ditzler, one of our regular listeners and the season ticket holders, chimed in with 3 thoughts. Dan Gamache, Michael Martinez, and Anderson De La Rosa. And I would certainly agree on all those fronts. Gamache has had an all-star caliber season, and one could even make an argument, almost an MVP caliber season, player of the year caliber season here in the Atlantic League. So I will agree certainly with Gamache. Michael Martinez He's had a very good season since joining the Barnstormers on May 10th. And you look at the other shortstop candidates in the Freedom Division, Ryan Jackson of the Sugarland Skeeters. He's been certainly a solid player. The combination Alvaro Rondon and Ryan Dent from the York Revolution. Dent is not doing quite what he has done the past couple of years, but would be an acceptable choice, in my opinion. Edwin Garcia, the very smooth shortstop for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. But you look at what Martinez has meant to the Lancaster Barnstormers. He has played brilliant defensively, and he has contributed more on offense than any other shortstop in this division. What about Anderson De La Rosa? Well, again, let's look at De La Rosa, and let's look at what he is up against. From York, Isaias Tejeda, but Tejeda plays first base, and he's the DH as much as he catches. He's got terrific offensive numbers for the York Revolution. So Tejeda, you would consider definitely in the mix. The Barnstormers have just played the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Charlie Valerio, I like the way he's playing right now. He's had to catch up. Did he get hot enough soon enough to get the votes to pass somebody like a Tejeda or a De La Rosa? Then there, of course, would be the Sugarland Skeeters in this division as well. And Sugarland has Cody Stanley. He has been very, very good, both offensively and defensively. It's a tough call. De La Rosa probably ahead of Parker Morin simply because Morin had the toe injury. Parker's numbers actually slightly ahead of Anderson's at the moment, at least in terms of batting average, but De La Rosa has had more playing time. So you've got De La Rosa, Tejeda, Stanley, and Valerio. Any two out of those four would represent the Freedom Division very well. I think that is probably the toughest call in this division. De La Rosa has thrown out 30% of the opposing base stealers this year. He is batting .292. He's hit 4 home runs, certainly worthy of a nomination to the All-Star team. But the other three guys that I mentioned, Tejeda, Valerio, and Stanley, could all go as well. 2 of the 4 probably will. It'll be interesting to see exactly what the decision was there. As far as some other Barnstormers are concerned, Joe Terdoslavich and Caleb Gindel have both steadily this year ranked among the Atlantic League RBI leaders, and that could mean a lot as far as the voting was concerned, and we'll see how it all turns out. And what about Darian Sanford? I asked the question about Valerio, and I'll ask it regarding Darian. Did he get hot enough soon enough for the voting to go his way? He has taken command of the Atlantic League lead in stolen bases. He now has 29. He added 2 more last night. So Darian tops in that department, and of course, an outstanding center fielder. Is that enough to get Sanford to the All-Star game again here in 2019? These are all questions. Now, traditionally, they take 2 pitchers from each ball club. That could be a little bit difficult as far as the Barnstormers are concerned. 2 pitchers on this team, well, I would say the leader of the pack would probably be Kyle Davies, even though he only has a record of 4 wins and 5 losses. But his other numbers are excellent. His ERA 3.41. He is pretty steadily been among the league leaders in earned run average this year. Davies, certainly a viable candidate there. And maybe John Anderson. He's got the 1 winning record in the rotation, and Anderson has been just solid without ever having that truly spectacular game. His best was his last time out, a 3-0 loss. He goes here tonight. And often you'll look either at a dominant setup man. Well, the Barnstormers haven't really had that this year, or the closer. Cody Epley has 11 saves. He's been to the All-Star game before. He's one of the best in league history. Has he done enough here in 2019 to warrant going back to the Atlantic League All-Star game? So those are all the questions. We will get the answers within the next day or two and see who goes to the All-Star game. The average number of players that will go from one team is about 6. And we'll get those rosters out to the public within the next couple of days, maybe as late as Friday. Of course, you've got to deal with the holiday on Thursday. The Barnstormers, meanwhile, are scheduled to play the High Point Rockers this evening at BB&T Point. John Anderson against Tyler Heron, and we'll be back with the starting lineups for this matchup in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Hi, Adam Gocknauer back with you again to tell you about some of the great offers we have for you all season long. Stop in every day to register for a team-signed Barnstormers jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices, Gocknauer's in East Petersburg.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Another name that was mentioned just recently as far as the All-Stars was concerned, Casey Hobson, and that's if he can wiggle in as the designated hitter. He is not going to beat out Telvin Nash as far as the All-Star first baseman from our division is concerned. Nash leading the league in home runs and runs batted in, and he's going to get that nod, especially with York hosting the game. Hobson could, I suppose, sneak in as a reserve on that team, depending on exactly how things shake down. Tejeda could also be moved out to first base. Nobody from Sugarland, nobody from Southern Maryland really would have the opportunity to go there and play first base. Meanwhile, let's look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. Darian Sanford is getting a rest this evening, so it will be Michael Martinez leading off. He will be at shortstop. Dan Gamache will bat second and play second base. The right fielder batting third is Caleb Gindel. Joe Ternaslovich is the cleanup batter and the third baseman. Casey Hobson is batting fifth at first base. The designated hitter batting sixth is Josh Bell, who had the game-tying ground rule double last night. The center fielder batting seventh is Andrew Applin. The catcher hitting eighth, Anderson De La Rosa. Greg Golson is batting ninth and playing left field. John Anderson on the hill. He is 5-4 with a 4.77 earned run average. For the Rockers this evening, leading off will be the right fielder Brandon Almadova. Miles Schroeder will bat second. He is in right field. The second Schroeder batting second is in center field. The second baseman hitting third is Tyler Ladendorf. Quincy Lattimore is the designated hitter batting cleanup. Sergi Rosa will bat fifth. He will play first base. Richie Schaefer gets the nod in left field. He'll bat sixth. Hector Gomez, the everyday third baseman, is batting seventh. We'll see Matt Jones as a starter behind the plate for the first time. He caught the late innings last night. And Giovanni Alfonso will be batting ninth. He will be at shortstop here this evening for the High Point Rockers. They will be starting Tyler Heron, a right-hander, 2 and 4 with a 4.74 earned run average. The High Point Rockers have taken the field here at their home park, BB&T Point in High Point, North Carolina. We'll send you down for our opening ceremony.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America and those who protect her both at home and abroad. And join us in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Ringlish and Kim Larkin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the whose brush stripes and bright stars grew the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, saved us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rutgers fans, let's hear it for
Our national anthem this evening at High Point, North Carolina. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the High Point Rockers. And for the Rockers this evening, the starting pitcher is Tyler Herron, who hails from Wellington, Florida. One-time late first-round supplemental first-round pick for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has been in professional baseball since 2005. He is 32 years of age, 6'2", and 210 pounds. Last year, he split time between Lincoln and Winnipeg in the American Association. And there he was 6-9 with a 5.85 earned run average. He's a previous star in the American Association, a 12-game winner for Fargo Moorhead back in 2012. He has also pitched in 4 different National League organizations. We mentioned the Cardinals after his time in the St. Louis system. He has pitched for Pittsburgh, Washington, and the New York Mets. The Mets being the most recent of those 4. He's gotten to AAA with Washington and New York. The right-hander has thrown 3 different starts this year with 6 or more shutout innings, including his last start when he went 6, giving up just 2 hits, walking 2 and striking out 1 against the Sugarland Skeeters. Herron on the mound facing the Barnstormers for the first time. He is backed up defensively by Hector Gomez at third, the shortstop Giovanni Alfonso, Tyler Ledendorf at second. First baseman is Vio Sergei Rosa, Schaefer, Schroeder, and Almadova. The outfielders from left to right with Matt Jones doing the catching. Here is the first pitch to Michael Martinez. It is wide of the plate for a ball, 1-0. Michael hitting .282 with 4 home runs. He has driven in 27. He loves this ballpark. He has homered twice here at High Point. The next delivery is taken off the outside corner again. This one was lower, down around knee level, 2-0. Herron has walked only 18 in 62 and 2/3 innings this year. He has given up 74 hits, 33 earned runs over his 11 starts. Martinez goes for the 2-0 and scorches it through the hole on the right side, and a base hit leading off for Michael. And on for the Barnstormers, Dan Gamache, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Herron is going to have his hands full tonight. The Barnstormers will be sending 7 consecutive either left-handed batters or switch hitters up against him. Herron has not done well against left-handed hitting. They're batting about .360 off of him for the season. So this is a lineup that could do a lot of damage to him. Dan Gamache, the second baseman, stands in. Dan goes after the first pitch and slices a long foul fly ball down the left field side. Trailing 1 strike is Gamache. Dan has tailed off a bit. He is down to 303 with 5 home runs, 42 runs batted in, and he's still leading the league with his 24 doubles, and that keeps him on at least franchise record pace. Martinez leads off first base, and the delivery to Gamache, a fastball up and away, ball 1, strike 1. Infield set, double play depth for the High Point Rockers. They were able to turn one last night in the 6th inning against Joe Terdoslavich. Gomez, though, giving Gamache a lot of real estate down that third baseline. That can be dangerous, and it's a long way to go to cover the left field line for the left fielder Richie Schaefer as well. Gamache uses that left field corner quite often. Martinez leading for first. He's stolen just 2. He'll hold on. Line drive toward the gap in left center field for Gamache. Racing over to cut that off is Schaefer. Gamache holds up around first. In fact, he stumbled coming around the bag. He is able to get back. Martinez taking third. Gamache pulled up and decided not to go to second. Miles Schroeder did a nice job cutting that ball off in the alley, keeping it from getting through for what would have been the 25th double of the season for Dan Gamache. Here's Caleb Gindel, the Barnstormers right fielder, is hitting .295. He has 8 home runs, and he has driven in a club-leading 46, although he has slipped behind Telvin Nash of the York Revolution for the league lead. An opportunity to drive in a run here. The pitch to Gindel is taken for a strike. He didn't like that one and let it go. It is 0-1. Gindel has been marvelous in situations driving in the runner from third base. He is 13 out of 16. The offering lined out the left field. Tracking it down is Schaefer. He can't get there. The ball is by him, rolling all the way to the wall. Martinez will score. Gamache pulls in at third, and Gindel has a double to left center field. The Barnstormers jump on Heron early and take a 1-0 lead and still have runners at second and third with nobody out. A 15th double for Gindel, the 47th run batted in for Caleb, who is having a good series here at High Point. Joe Terdoslavich, the third baseman, steps in. Joe was 1 out of 5 a night ago. He's batting .275 now on the year with 12 home runs, 43 runs driven in. Gindel has done it again. He gives the Barnstormers the lead here in the first inning. Terdoslavich will try and extend that lead. Gamache up the line from third. Gindel off second. Infielders are playing back. Terdoslavich takes a swing and pops this up. This looks playable. Gomez, the third baseman on the apron, is there to make the catch. Terdoslavich tries, like so many others have, to jump on Heron early, but he fouls out to third base. 1 out. Casey Hobson, the first baseman, jumps in. Casey had the big 3-run home run last night off the scoreboard. They tell me it's the first time that scoreboard has been hit by a home run. His 11th home run of the year, 39 runs batted in. Casey has jumped into the all-time top 5 and runs batted in as a Barnstormer. He's tied with Jeremy Todd for 4th. He can pick up 2 more right now. First pitch misses, and it's ball 1 to KC. Designated hitter Josh Bell waits on deck, and hopefully that game-tying long double to right center field last night has Bell unglued. Barnstormers could use more where that came from. Runners lead from second and third. The pitch to Hobson is also lifted foul on the third base side, but this gets to the stadium rooftop. KC bats at 1 ball and 1 strike. Barnstormers and a High Point for the middle game of a 3-game series. Lancaster opens the night with 3 consecutive base hits against right-hander Tyler Heron. Infield still plays back here. The pitch to Hobson, cut on and missed. And Heron has him at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster missed out on chances at times last night to drive in extra runs. They were really up and down when it came to hitting in the clutch last night, but ultimately they came through enough to win the game. Gamache off third, Gindel off second, and a Hobson fly ball out to center. Miles Schroeder will get behind this. Tagging off third is Gamache. The throw will go toward third base. An easy sacrifice fly for Hobson. He gets the run home. The Barnstormers jump ahead 2-0. Gindel stays put at second base and awaits Josh Bell's turn. JB at 197 with a home run and 11 runs batted in for the season. that last night he sank his teeth into a baseball. The first time in a while we've really seen him do it, and drove it, I would say, a good 390 feet on the fly, a ground rule double that tied the game in the ninth inning. Here's the delivery to Bell, a swing and a miss. He goes down a strike. It is 0-1. Left-handed batting center fielder Andrew Applin waiting on deck for the Barnstormers, who have jumped ahead by 2 here in the opening inning. Martinez, Gamache, and Gindel all with sharp base hits to get it underway. Now to Bell. Strike 2, ruled on the inside corner by the plate umpire William Owens. 0-2 the count. Gindel has stayed at second base through the last 2 outs. Right-hander Herron glancing back. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Check swing and a foul on what likely would have been ball 1. Fended off by Bell, and the count will remain 0-2. Popped up by Bell on the right side. Leidendorf, the second baseman, is there to put it away. So all in all, a good recovery for Herron, but the Barnstormers open with a salvo of 3 straight base hits. 2 runs on the 3 hits with no errors. 1 runner was left on base at the end of a half inning tonight. The Lancaster Barnstormers 2, and the High Point Rockers are coming up.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
For the Barnstormers tonight, it is left-hander John Anderson on the hill. The southpaw, originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, town of Pleasanton, now residing in Florida, making his 11th start, his 16th appearance overall this year. And Anderson is 5-4 with a 4.77 earned run average. He's given up 75 hits in 66 innings, walking only 15 and striking out 59. Brandon Almodovar, the right fielder, leads off tonight. He was just reactivated today by the Rockers. 327 hitter with 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. Anderson is inside with his first delivery. It is ball 1-0. Joe Trdoslavich at third. The shortstop is Michael Martinez at second base. Stan Gamache, Casey Hobson at first. Check swing and a foul. It is 1-1. The outfield with a different look tonight. Greg Golson with the start in left. Andrew Applin, who was in left field last night, plays center this evening. Caleb Gindel is stationed in right. And Anderson De La Rosa takes his turn in back of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Almodovar. Anderson rears back, brings it home, and a half swing results on a chopper towards shortstop. Martinez picks it up, throws on the run, and gets his man. Almodovar grounds out 6-3. One down, and Miles Schroeder, the center fielder, a switch hitter, will step in. You want to talk about a guy that has the Barnstormers number. Oh, my. Schroeder has respectable, but by no means outstanding numbers overall. 275 with 5 homers, 25 runs batted in. You can't complain about that, but there's nothing spectacular about those. Against the Barnstormers, his OPS is somewhere up near 2,000. First pitch strike delivered by Anderson. It is 0-1. Schroeder is 12 for 20 with 3 home runs. He has driven in 8. He's walked several other times. The wind by Anderson, his next offering, beaten foul, and John has him at 0-2. Schroeder was not retired last night at all. He walked, singled, and homered against the starter, Buddy Bauman. Then he walked again in the 7th inning against Logan Sawyer and picked up another base on balls in the 9th against Pedro Echemendia. Here's the line, the delivery, fastball, knocking Schroeder back off the plate. That was a pitch with a purpose, and it's ball 1, 2 strikes. 2-0 Barnstormers, bottom of the first inning with 1 out, nobody on base. Here at lovely, spanking new BB&T Point here in the Triad area, the Piedmont Triad of North Carolina. Swing and a foul tip. De La Rosa holds on. Anderson able to retire Schroeder. 2 outs, and Tyler Ledendorf, the second baseman, steps in. Ledendorf hitting 270 with 9 home runs and 34 runs batted in. If at any point tonight I have to pull the plug on this broadcast, it is because there are some thunderheads building out there. There's nothing immediately threatening, but I am to some extent exposed to the elements here, not directly. There is a roof over my head, but I am out in the open, and I may not necessarily like the idea of being strapped to electronics with lightning around. Swing and a miss. Ledendorf batting at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and the base is empty. Quincy Lattimore, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Anderson getting the sign from Anderson. Next offering is skied on the left side. Michael Martinez may not have seen it, but Greg Golson does, and he is there to back up. It was Golson's play anyhow. Nothing across in the bottom half of the first inning. And at the end of 1 here at BB&T Point, the Barnstormers enjoy the 2-0 lead.
What's up, Rocker fans? I'm hanging out over here in section 7.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Andrew Applin steps in to lead off the Lancaster half of the second inning. He made his Atlantic League debut last night and went 0 for 3 with a walk. He stole a base at one point. The motion and the pitch to Andrew, down and in. Ball 1, no strikes. Applin, a veteran who's been at AAA with 3 different organizations. But he hadn't played since May 13, so it could take a little while for the bat to come around against Heron. He lofts a fly ball to right. This one is traveling, though. Back on it goes Almadova to the track, and he makes the catch in front of the 339 mark out in right field. Applin with a long fly ball to right. It didn't appear that impressive off the bat, but it did carry, as balls will do in this stadium. Well, there's one out. Anderson De La Rosa, the catcher, to the plate. De La Rosa, .292 with 4 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Well, I will say this. If Applin can swing a bat like that, he's going to hit a few in Lancaster. That was easily gone at Clipper Magazine Stadium. But it's 3:39 down the line here. The pitch to De La Rosa, who has homered in this ballpark. It's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. We mentioned how well left-handed batters have tended to do against Heron. Well, obviously, right-handed batters have not done nearly as well against him. To De La Rosa, a second called strike. It is 0-2 on the Lancaster catcher. Greg Golson, also a right-handed batter, waits on deck. Lancaster up by a pair here in the top half of the second inning. Heron goes back to work. De La Rosa pulls a line drive base hit into left center field. He reached out and was able to yank it around over the head of the shortstop, Alfonso. And Anderson is aboard with one out here in the second inning for Golson. De La Rosa, once again, challenging the 300 mark. He had slipped below for a while. Golson stands in. Greg picking up the pace, 260 now with a home run and 6 runs batted in. He had 3 hits against Southern Maryland on Sunday. 1 out, 1 on, and to Golson. The fastball is poured inside. It is 1-0 on Greg. But is anybody really surprised that Golson's average is on its way up? You couldn't be surprised he was going to start a little bit cold. He hadn't played all year. But Greg Golson, designed to play baseball. The pitch by Heron, just off the outside corner, maybe a little bit low. It is 2-0. David Ruckert, who celebrates a birthday today, is coaching first base. Ross Peoples is across at third. Both Dave Ruckert and Parker Morin celebrate a birthday today. To Golson, a check swing on a pitch that's up. De La Rosa has 1 steal. I doubt he's going here. Heron ready to go. The pitch to Golson. That is a strike on the outside corner. Now, that previous check swing was recorded as a strike on the outfield board, but that's not the case. It is 3-1, which is what I had thought. Big edge in the count for Greg. De La Rosa inches his way off first, being held there by Rosa. Swing and a miss. Golson at 3-2. Infield set, double play depth. Heron is not a big strikeout guy. You could take the gamble and send De La Rosa here. 3-2 on Golson. The runner holds. The pitch is swung on, looped out to left field. Charging in is Schaefer. He will dive and make the catch. Nice play by Richie Schaefer. Second out of the inning, and put a star by that one in the scorebook, with Michael Martinez coming back around for a second look at Heron. Golson's bid for a base hit denied. Schaefer does not seem to be able to cover a great deal of ground in the outfield, but if he can get there, he will catch it. We saw Gindel's double get past him back in the first inning. He simply couldn't get there. Racing toward his left, his glove side. Here's Martinez. The Heron pitch cut on and missed. He changed speeds there. Michael goes down 0-1. So this inning, we've had Andrew Applin chase Brandon Almadova back to the track and right. De La Rosa has singled, and Golson has been robbed. The Barnstormers continue to swing the bats well against Tyler Heron here tonight. 0-1 on Martinez. Michael takes outside. And the count is a ball and a strike. Dan Gamache waits on deck. 2-0 Barnstormers in the top half of inning number 2. Lancaster trying this week to deliver a knockout blow to the High Point Rockers in the first half race. High Point trying to stay in it. Upstairs. And Martinez bats at 2 balls and a strike. High Point at the start of play tonight, trailing Long Island by 3 and Somerset by 2. Long Island hosting the Sugar Land Skeeters. And Somerset is playing a doubleheader at New Britain Stadium tonight. We'll get you those scores later on. Now to Martinez, swung on and grounded. That ball is up the middle in toward right center field. De La Rosa will chug toward third. The ball getting away from Schroeder. De La Rosa is trying to score. The throw will be late. And the Barnstormers have taken a 3-0 lead. That will be a single for Michael Martinez. And I would certainly imagine that Miles Schroeder, who let that ball get through him, will be charged with an error, allowing De La Rosa to score on the play and enable Martinez to go to second base as well. Dan Gamache to the plate. He singled and scored back in the first inning. And that is indeed the ruling. So no run batted in for Martinez, but he has his second hit of the ball game. Gamache singled to left center field his first time up. He's got Martinez at second base with 2 outs in the inning. Lancaster leading 3-0. But lest you think that's safe, remember High Point led 3-0 at the end of 2 last night. The Barnstormers came back to win that game. This is a high-scoring ballpark. It is big, but the ball really carries here. So no lead is safe. Thank goodness it's 336 and 339 down the lines. Martinez leads from second. The pitch is swatted foul by Gamache over to the left and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Lancaster second baseman, Caleb Gindel, who's having a big series here in High Point, waits on deck. The set and the offering, lifted foul again down the left side. Gamache is often an opposite field hitter, but here as of late, it has seemed almost like he's just a touch late on the swing, and that just could be all his travel catching up. He's played every game but 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with Martinez leading off second base. Heron trying to close out the inning with just 1 run on the board. The set, and a Gamache strike 3 called on the inside corner. It appeared that he was looking away. Heron burned him inside. That's the first strikeout for the right-hander. Lancaster does tack on a run on 2 hits in the inning. There was an error that played a role. 1 man left on base, and now at the end of 1.5 here at BB&T Point, the Barnstormers are up 3-0.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Haller Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark. Here is Quincy Lattimore, the designated hitter, to open the bottom of the second for High Point. Lancaster up 3-0. Lattimore is a .282 hitter with 9 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Smashed to short, picking it up on the second skim to the backhand as Martinez's throw to first, though, is offline. Lattimore will beat it out. Martinez made a very fine backhanded pick, but in trying to bounce the throw, and he was trying to bounce that throw, he bounced it too early off the carpet, and it took 2 or 3 hops to get to Hobson. It was also slightly offline. It was intentional for Martinez to bounce it, but he really needed about 10 more feet on the throw. And now the left-handed batting via Sergi Rosa steps in, hitting .256 with 7 home runs. Anderson goes to work and misses inside. It is ball 1 and no strikes. High Point with its first base runner of the night on the infield hit by Lattimore. Barnstormers set the infield, double play depth. Rosa given a lot of room down the third base line. The pitch is a strike to the outer corner. It is now 1 ball and 1 strike on the native of the Bronx. Rosa looking for his first hit against Lancaster pitching. He is 0 for 12, including as a pinch hitter last night. He flied out to left in the 9th inning. That was against Echemendia. Anderson bounces a pitch and now goes to 2-1. 3-0 Lancaster. The Barnstormers have already piled up 5 hits on Tyler Herron through the first 2 innings. John Anderson working out of the stretch. 2-1 on Rosa. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Richie Schaefer, the left fielder, waits on deck. And then the third baseman, Hector Gomez. This is a healthy lineup. We mentioned that statistically, the High Point Rockers are the best team in the Atlantic League. They have a run differential of plus 96. Nobody else is close. In the dirt, and now 3-2 on Rosa. Full count pitch. Do the Rockers gamble and start Lattimore? I would think not, but they could. Anderson focusing in on the target of De La Rosa. 3-2 out of the set. John delivers. Breaking ball. It is popped up to shallow left field. Backpedaling is Michael Martinez. Martinez having trouble with it, but he does get there, finally putting it away for the first out. And I can tell you right now why Michael Martinez is having a hard time. I can feel it on the back of my neck sitting here in the open as I do. I am straight on line with Michael at shortstop. That sun is glaring in his eyes. 1 out, runner at first. Richie Schaefer, the batter, hitting .259 with 13 home runs. He leads his ball club, and he has knocked in 32, one of his home runs, coming at the expense of the Barnstormers. That was off Jared Lakin. Anderson is low. Ball 1, no strikes. 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the second inning. Long Island 39-24, Somerset 38-25, High Point 37-28. And something troubled me when I looked at the standings last night, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was, but if you know me well enough, you know that I'm like the TV detective Adrian Monk. Certain things in my world need to be orderly, and in my case, it's numbers. They have to make sense, and something about that didn't. Anderson missing here with a breaking ball. He falls behind Schaefer 3-0 with Gomez waiting on deck, and I realized, wait a minute, that means that High Point will play 71 games before the All-Star break. Well, who else is going to do that? And I looked at the rest of the standings. Sugar Land is going to do that. Well, there's a quirk in the schedule, and I'll try and explain it as I can here. Foul ball back to the screen, 3-1. Sunday's games for High Point against Somerset and for Sugar Land against New Britain will count as second half games for the Rockers and the Skeeters, and first half games for the Bees and the Patriots. Well, that could create other complications along the way in terms of tiebreakers. Throw to first base, and back in there is Lattimore. It was just a lob throw from John Anderson. So it left me scratching my head, but I think it will all work out in the wash because the possibility of Somerset and High Point tying for first place in the division when they play each other this weekend is very unlikely. But to have the Ducks knocked out. This ball is tagged the other way. Applin going back. Applin going way back. The ball will bounce over the wall. That will be a ground rule double for Richie Schaefer. Same hop that Josh Bells took last night. Schaefer going the other way for 2 bases. Lattimore to third. Schaefer on at second with just 1 out in the inning. And Hector Gomez will come to the plate. Hit a long way to the opposite field. It's 400 to straightaway center here at BB&T Point, but it does make me wonder if the way the fence is angled, if it's not deeper than that, to an angle in the wall out in right center where Bell hit his double last night and Schaefer just connected for that one. But that hopped actually over about a 10-foot high section of fence out in right center field. They may want to deaden the track here if they can. Gomez, the batter, 288 is average. Line drive just past the diving third baseman Terdoslavich, who was playing up. It's into left for a base hit. Gomez drives in his 10th run against the Barnstormers. It's 3-1 with Schaefer at third and Gomez at first. 1 out in the inning, and the batter is the catcher, Matt Jones. And there is the price you pay for having your third baseman up in that situation. Gomez not a likely candidate to bunt. If Terdoslavich is back behind the bag, he has a little bit more time to react and might actually catch that ball. Schaefer at third, Gomez at first. Jones batting against the Barnstormers for the first time is 6 out of 35 with 4 runs batted in on the year. Anderson will go to work here, swinging a foul ball back by Jones. It is 0-1. You have to be extremely careful pitching in this ballpark. Terdoslavich was at the edge of the green turf there, or close to it, at least even with the bag, and did not have time to react. The offering is away. It is a ball and a strike on Jones, who hails from Wheat Ridge, Colorado. He's been as high as AAA. Played collegiately at Southern Illinois, 27 years of age. The pitch, ground ball on the first base side. Hobson up with that. He'll get the out there. Nobody covered first base. No chance at a double play. Jones reaches on the fielder's choice as Schaefer scores. The out on Gomez is 3-6. And some miscommunication between Hobson and Anderson as to who is going to get back and take the relay throw from Michael Martinez. And fortunately, Michael did not blindly cut it loose. No error on the play, but definitely a mental one as far as the Barnstormers are concerned. Jones, the runner at first. He'll get the RBI, his 5th of the year. Giovanni Alfonso, the batter, and he pulls the ball down the left field line. Foul from the outset, and it lands behind the Barnstormers bullpen. No balls and 1 strike on Alfonso, the right-handed batting shortstop. It is 3-2 in the bottom of the second inning. The ground rule double by Schaefer, the key to the inning. Gomez then with the single past third base. Anderson to the plate. Alfonso looks at a second strike, registered on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Anderson fires. It spins Alfonso around a bit. At least he turned the shoulder. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Anderson cuts it loose. Changeup swung on and missed. De La Rosa has to fire to first. The out officially 2-3. It's the second strikeout for John Anderson tonight. He holds part of the lead, but it's 2 runs on 3 hits with no physical errors in the inning and 1 man left on base. We're at the end of 2 at BB&T Point. The Barnstormers leading by a 3-2 score.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
For the Barnstormers, Caleb Gindel leads off the top of the third against Tyler Heron. Gindel doubled home a run back in the first inning. Barnstormers leading 3-2. Gindel takes a strike here. It is 0-1. Heron throwing a lot of strikes. The Barnstormers swinging fairly liberally. This is lofted out the left. Easy play for Schaefer. The left fielder to his right to make the catch for out number 1. And Joe Terdoslavich will step in. Terdoslavich fouled to third back in the first inning. The Barnstormers have scored in each of the first 2 innings. We're seeing a game that's the mirror image of last night's, if you will. High Point struck for the first 3 runs, and then the Barnstormers came back and put 5 on the board. Eventually won 7, 6, and 10 innings. Terdoslavich with a smash, 1 hop right to Rosa at first. He takes it straight to the bag for the second out. Now Casey Hobson may look at a pitch or two. 2 outs on just 3 deliveries from Heron. Here in the third inning, Hobson with a sacrifice fly, his first time up. The Barnstormers were sitting in great shape coming out of the top half of the second inning, but now they find themselves in a contest. The ground rule double part of the key. That was really the biggest element in the bottom half of the second inning, outside to Hobson, and that will help KC here. I almost think he had to take a strike and instead 1-0, so taking a pitch anyway. Back to KC, and this time a similar looking pitch is rolled to be a strike by William Owens. 1 ball and 1 strike. Defense is swung around to the right, and the infielders are deep against Hobson, who gets a second strike, this onto the inside corner with a breaking ball. KC becoming the 4th member of this ball club and the 40 RBI club this year. And now with that sacrifice fly back in the first inning, he is in sole possession of 4th place on the all-time Barnstormer RBI list with 212. The 1-2 skips out of the beads. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not dirt, not pebbles, but those little black rubber, I guess, beads that form the base of the artificial surface. Hobson bats 2-2. The wind and the offering by Heron. Swung on that ball is ripped over the head of the first baseman, Rosa, and down into the right field corner. It's taking a while to kick back to Almadova, and Hobson easily glides into second base with a double. KC with his 15th two-base hit of the year, his 26th extra base hit overall. He's in scoring position now for Josh Bell. And Casey Hobson, who was in a fairly bad drought for a while, now has hit safely in 6 consecutive games. He is 11 out of his last 31. He had dipped into the lower 220s at one point. Runner in scoring position. Bell trying to reestablish a 2-run lead for the Barnstormers. Lancaster owns 6 hits against Heron. The pitch to Bell, chopper to the first baseman, foul. And JB is down a strike here. It is 0-1. Lancaster has been very aggressive against Tyler Heron so far tonight. He struck out Dan Gamache looking back in the second inning after a couple of foul balls down the left side. Everybody else for Lancaster has put the ball in play. To Bell, it is low for a ball. And JB is up there at 1 ball and 1 strike. But that is the nature of facing Heron, who had given up a lot of hits and not very many walks, coming into action here tonight. They won't have those badly prolonged innings. To Bell 1-1, and he pops it up again. This one will carry to the outfielders. The center fielder, Schroeder, makes the call and the catch. Bell is retired. Hobson left stranded at second. 1 hit, 1 man left. We're headed to the bottom of the third at BB&T Point, with Lancaster leading 3-2.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Top of the order, Brandon Almadova leads off against John Anderson as we turn things into the bottom half of the third inning. Third baseman Joe Trdoslavich up guarding against the bunt with the leadoff batter standing in. He grounded to short. Starting off the night for the Rockers, he gets a pitch low from Anderson. Ball 1 and no strikes. Miscommunication between Hobson and Anderson may have cost the Barnstormers the second run in the bottom of inning 2. Now a ball belted out the right field. Remember, it is traveling out there tonight. Retreating is Gindel. He'll be there ahead of the track for the first out. Almadova retired. Miles Schroeder stepping in. He has struck out tonight. First time he has been retired in the series. Schroeder listed on the roster as a catcher, but he has been the starting center fielder for the Rockers the last couple of series. Opening weekend at Clipper Magazine Stadium, he was the DH, and then he caught the last 2 games. Well, that's versatility you don't see very often, a catcher center fielder. First pitch from Anderson is up, ball 1 and no strikes. An error by Schroeder led to the Barnstormers' 3rd run. Popped up foul, back out of play, directly over my head. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, there is a very good chance I'm going to be back down the right field line calling the action. We'll see. I am going to be bumped out of where I've worked last night and tonight. Down low for ball 2 on Schroeder, 2-1. They are trying to work things out for visiting broadcasters, the 5 of us who travel. Ball 3 is in the so-called dirt. Kicking up the beads as it does here. 3 balls and a strike. I got a couple of those in my shoe earlier today. That was not all that comfortable. Anderson back to work. Here's the 3-1. Fouled right at home plate. Schroeder with a full count against the Barnstormers left-hander. One out, bases empty. The infielders are back here. The outfielders straight away. The 3-2 is pulled out the left field. Over to his right and back a step or 2 is Golson. He's there for the 2nd out. Tyler Ledendorf coming to the plate. He flied out back in the 1st inning. Anderson has handled the normally deadly top of the High Point batting order pretty well here tonight. Once again, Hector Gomez getting to the Barnstormers. But he's had some season series. John Anderson into his motion, snaps it off and gets it across to Ledendorf. It is 0-1. 3-2 Barnstormers playing the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at BB&T Point on what's turned out to be a fairly nice night. It is warm and humid, as you might expect for North Carolina in July. It would be crazy were it not. Foul ball back, and it's 0-2. Temperatures in the low 90s. The humidity is noticeable, but not overbearing. It's not Sugarland-like. Anderson ready to go. Misses with a fastball up and away. Ledendorf wouldn't chase it. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. There are some big clouds floating around. Saw a couple of anvil-shaped clouds earlier, but I think we're free and clear. 1-2, just fouled away by Ledendorf. Anderson almost had him. He was off balance, barely nicked the top of the baseball, and fouled it back past De La Rosa. Ball 1, 2 strikes here with 2 outs and the bases empty. With play in the bottom half of inning 3. And Anderson deals. This is fouled off as Ledendorf continues to battle. Two outs, bases clear here in the 3rd. It's been an active ball game. Swing and a miss, but that is to the backstop. De La Rosa will fire to first base, and fortunately Gamache is there to back up. A strikeout of Tyler Ledendorf, but he reaches anyhow. 2 out runner on with Quincy Lattimore coming to the plate, and we will get a ruling as to whether that was a wild pitch or pass ball. My inclination anyway is for that to be a wild pitch. Lattimore stands in, aboard on an infield single in the 2nd inning. Nice stop by Martinez in the hole, but he didn't get enough on the throw. That was not a great inning for the Barnstormers in the field. the bottom of the second. No errors, but plays could have been made that were not. The delivery, that is taken toward the gap in left center field. Applin racing over. He'll cut it off. Ledendorf is going to be sent. The throw to the plate, and Ledendorf is dead to rights on a beautiful relay by Michael Martinez. 2 bases for Lattimore, but Ledendorf was waved around by Jamie Keefe, and De La Rosa was in possession of the ball as Ledendorf was still about 10, 12 feet away. 8-6-2. Credit Applin as well for the assist. He got to that ball quickly. Ledendorf cut down at the plate on the double. The Barnstormers retain the lead. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 3 here at High Point, it is the Barnstormers 3 and the Rockers 2.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Andrew Applin leads off the 4th inning. He's down a strike against Tyler Heron. Now a swing and a miss. And it is 0-2 for the Barnstormers. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 3 left. And High Point 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 error. They have stranded 2. Applin began the relay 8-6-2, cutting down Ledendorf at the plate to protect the lead in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And the 0-2 pitch is low. Applin works at 1 ball and 2 strikes. He flied out to the warning track in right field. Back in the 2nd inning. Heron getting the signal from Matt Jones. Here's the windup. And the 1-2 offering, hard hit ground ball, handled by the first baseman, Rosa. He'll take it to the bag for the first out here in the 4th. Anderson De La Rosa coming to the plate. De La Rosa singled and scored back in the 2nd inning. It was a wild pitch, charged to Anderson, that allowed Ledendorf to reach first base to begin with in that 3rd inning, leading to that very exciting final play. Anderson De La Rosa couldn't do anything about it once it got past him. The ball hopped high up onto the screen. He had to wait for it to come back down. Here is the pitch to De La Rosa. Inside with a fastball, 1-0. Anderson had the single and scored the unearned run back in the 2nd inning. 3-2 in favor of the Barnstormers. The motion and the offering fastball is good for a strike. Heron and De La Rosa even at 1-1. Greg Golson waits on deck. The Barnstormers are swinging the bats well here this evening. It's just a question of whether or not the ball gets through. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. De La Rosa wasn't looking for that pitch. He was trying to sit on a fastball right there, and Heron made him look a little bad. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Barnstormers receiver. Defense fanned out against De La Rosa, the 34-year-old Venezuela native. The pitch, a check swing. He went too far on the inside fastball. De La Rosa is gone on strikes. That is only the second by Heron in the ball game. Greg Golson now will come to the plate with 2 outs and the base is empty. The left fielder, Richie Schaefer, made a diving catch coming in on a sinking liner by Golson back in the second inning. Star in the scorebook worthy. Aaron now to the plate. Golson pops it onto the outside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Aaron and Anderson, for the most part tonight, keeping this ball game moving. The offering to Golson, a swing and a miss. Aaron seems to be hitting stride here in the middle innings. 0-2, the count to Golson. 6 hits for the Barnstormers, including a pair of doubles. 4 hits for the Rockers. They have 2 doubles. And to Golson, 0-2, a breaking ball hit toward the middle and through for a 2-out single. Golson got it off the end of the bat. Alfonso couldn't get there as the ball skipped on through. Lancaster with a 2-out base runner for Michael Martinez, who already owns 2 hits in the game tonight. Martinez hit a ground ball through the right side in the first inning and then toward the middle in the second. He has scored a run in the contest. 2-out base runner. Fastball is up and away. Ball 1. Golson is 2 for 4, stealing bases on the year. It may be a time where you want to try. Greg Golson out to the lead. The pitch is low and inside. And to Michael, it is 2-0. Martinez already with his 16th multiple hit game of the season. He has had 3 or more hits on 3 different occasions, the last coming at New Britain June 8th. Opportunities for that tonight. He pops up the pitch, and this could be playable. Gomez coming over. Gomez to the railing, and right there he's able to make the catch. The wind may have helped that one stay in, and Martinez has the bat taken away from him. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. Credit Gomez for knowing his park and knowing that ball had a chance to stay in play. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 3 and the High Point Rockers 2.
What's up, Rocker fans?
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Dave Collins with you from BB&T Point as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning tonight. Lancaster leading by 1. And via Sergei Rosa, the first baseman, leads off against John Anderson, the one left-handed batter John gets to face in the High Point batting order. Rosa popped the short his first time up on a full count pitch. Anderson is in the dirt here for a ball. It is 1-0. In the other games around the Atlantic League, New Britain does some harm to Somerset, winning 2-1 in the opener of a doubleheader. Mike Antonini charged with the loss. It's another game getting away from Antonini. Ground ball past Hobson, a base hit into right. The 5th hit for the High Point Rockers off of John Anderson tonight. Leadoff man is aboard. Richie Schaefer, the left fielder, will come in. Schaefer with a long ground rule double to right center back in the second inning. The second game of that doubleheader is still not underway. Sugar Land and Long Island have come to the end of 3 in a 2-2 deadlock, while York has opened up an early 7-1 lead down at Southern Maryland. The Revs still with a chance to catch Sugar Land in the first half. And that may come down to this weekend, the way it is going. Outside for a ball on Schaefer, 1-0. The Barnstormers host York for 3 at Clipper Magazine Stadium on this holiday weekend. And Lancaster may have a chance to knock the Revs out of the first half. Of course, for the Barnstormer faithful, as Schaefer takes ball 2, the worst case scenario is to watch York clinch the first half at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Shudder the thought that Sugar Land has sunk to 33-32. John Anderson with a 2-0 swing and a miss. Schaefer went for it all there. It's 2 balls and a strike. Hector Gomez, one of the toughest outs for the 2019 Barnstormers pitching staff, waits on deck. Lancaster scored the first 3 runs of the night. It's since then just 2 out base hits for the Barnstormers. Sugar Land scored 2 in the bottom of the second. And not Sugar Land, High Point, they continue to threaten 2-2. They both wear about the same shade of blue. Now 2-2. Anderson would love to get a ground ball here. Lancaster had a chance at a double play back in the second inning, and nobody covered first after the 3-6 force out. That may have cost the Barnstormers a run. Low now, and Schaefer bats at 3-2. Anderson going to a full count once again. Rosa has not tried to steal a base. He leads off. Hobson holding him there. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Richie Schaefer. John Anderson peering in, getting the signal. Looking toward first. Here's the payoff. Ground ball slowly hit on the right side. Gamache only has the chance to go to first. Schaefer retired 4-3 as Rosa advances to second on the play. With 1 out, the batter will be Hector Gomez. He singled into left field back in the second inning, driving in the first of the 2 runs there.
Hector Gomez.
With the runner at second base and 1 out in the inning. Terdoslavich is back a little bit deeper. Matt Jones, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. 2 chances to knock in the tying run. Again, Rosa not with blazing speed. Up and away for a ball on Gomez. It is 1-0. He is a .469 hitter in the season series is Gomez with 10 runs batted in. He's had at least 1 hit in every game in the season series. Last night, he drove in a run in the first inning. That was it. And it was the first time he didn't have an extra base hit against the Barnstormers in a game. Swung on and missed. Anderson even with him at a ball and a strike. Gomez was in the major leagues at points from 2011 to 2015, Colorado and Milwaukee. Fly ball here toward left center field. Golson racing over. Greg will make the catch. Racing back to second is Rosa. Golson with a throw right on line, but late. 2 outs with the runner still in scoring position. That was a nice play by Greg Golson. He ended up having to cover a lot of territory going toward his left side on that fly ball, which did travel off the bat of Hector Gomez. Now here is Jones, who drove in a run on a 3-6 fielder's choice ground ball back in the second inning. Anderson's pitch breaks to the inside corner. Very nicely delivered by the Barnstormers left-hander. Fastball down and away. Jones bats at 1-1. He too can move to the outfield, although we have not seen him out there. As a matter of fact, this is the first time we have seen him play, period. Again, low from Anderson. 2 balls and a strike. Giovanni Alfonso waits on deck. Jones, we mentioned, was in the Arizona organization. He was there from 15 through earlier this year. Got into 11 games between Reno and Jackson. Andrew Applin would have been his teammate at one point. Did he go? He did not, says the first base umpire, Sarah Meal. And now John Anderson trails the catcher 3-1. It's Sergi Rosa, the tying run at second base with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. The leg kick, the pitch, ball 4. Anderson gives up his first walk of the night. That brings on Alfonso, who struck out and was thrown out 2-3, closing out the second inning. Giovanni, a .222 hitter to start the night. He can be a thorn in the clutch. He hasn't done a tremendous amount against the Barnstormers this year, but he had a couple big hits for the Ducks when he was in this league previously off of Lancaster pitching, and they tended to be to the right side of the field. From a family of middle infielders is Giovanni Alfonso, batting here with Rosa at second, Jones at first. 2 outs in the inning. John Anderson delivers outside, missing for ball 1. Top of the order, Brandon Almodovar waits on deck. 3-2 Lancaster in the lower half of inning 4. The walk from Anderson, just his 16th of the year. Alfonso pops up a fastball. Retreating is Martinez. Michael squeezes in shallow center. It will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Rockers strand a pair. We're at the end of 4 now here at BB&T Point. Lancaster clinging to a 3-2 lead.
Localflavor.com, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Dan Gamache leads off the fifth inning for the Barnstormers. He is 1 for 2 in the game with a run scored. Facing Tyler Heron for the third time. He'll be followed by Caleb Gindel and Joe Terdoslavich. Barnstormers have managed to hold a one-run lead that has been threatened for the last 2 innings. Inside to Gamache for a ball. That was a slider. It's 1-0. And lined a single into left center field back in the first inning. Miles Schroeder did a great job cutting it off in the gap to keep it from being a double. Strike to the inner edge. That's where Heron and Jones have decided to work Gamache, it seems. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Major League scoreboard. Boston playing still in the British Commonwealth, but in Canada now. 5-0 over the Blue Jays. They're in the bottom of the second inning. Ball 2 is inside and low on Gamache, 2-1. Pittsburgh up 1-0 over the Chicago Cubs in the second. Washington 2 and Miami 1. Lower half of inning number 2. The Major League games getting underway at 7 as opposed to our 6:30. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Gamache. The wind and the pitch. Dan with a ground ball. Easy play for the first baseman, Rosa, right to the bag. 3 unassisted for the third time in the last 3 innings. Caleb Gindel to the plate. Gindel with a double to left center field. Keystone of the 2-run first inning. He flied to left second time up. Yankees over the Mets in the Subway Series. It's at Citi Field, 2-0 top of the second. Baltimore and Tampa Bay level at 1 through 2 1/2 innings. Fastball to Gindel is outside. Ball 1. A ball and no strikes. 2-0 Cincinnati over Milwaukee in the third. The Phillies and the Braves are scoreless into the bottom half of the second inning. The LA Angels of Anaheim are scheduled to take on the Texas Rangers tonight. They had to call off last night's game due to the untimely passing of Angels left-hander Tyler Skaggs, and I'm sure they'll be playing with heavy hearts tonight. Ground ball on the right side. Ledendorf, the second baseman, into the hole. Fires on to retire Gindel. 2 up and 2 down. Joe Terdoslavich will step in. He is 0 for 2. Heron, a contact pitcher, all of a sudden has really begun to get ground balls off the Barnstormers' left-handed bats. Earlier, the lefty hitters, and we talked about how left-handed bats have had so much success off of Heron this year. They were tattooing him in the first couple of innings, but that has ceased. Terdoslavich is fouled out and grounded out. Heron into the motion, and a Joe, a fastball to the outside edge. It is 0-1. Later on tonight, Detroit in Chicago against the White Sox, Houston at Colorado, Cleveland at Kansas City, Minnesota at Oakland, San Francisco at San Diego, St. Louis at Seattle, and Arizona at LA against the Dodgers. Terdoslavich swings, lines a ball into right center field. That's down for a base hit. 3 innings in a row now, the Barnstormers have had a 2-out base hit. Heron has not gotten through an inning cleanly. Casey Hobson will come to the plate. Hobson with a sac fly and a double.
First baseman, number 18, Casey Hobson.
For Hobson in the series, officially 2 out of 5 with 4 runs batted in. He's got Terdoslavich at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Lancaster now owns 8 hits on the night. To Hobson, a swing and a miss. KC goes down a strike. It is 0-1. Tyler Heron is always around the strike zone. The Barnstormers have, in general, been swinging early in the count as a result of that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It is low, handled by Jones to keep Terdoslavich from moving ahead. Ball 1 and a strike. It is possible to throw too many strikes. You have to be out of the zone from time to time or the hitters get too locked in. JC looks at a second strike. He itched to pull the trigger initially, kept from doing so, and pays a price, but it's better than swinging at a pitch you don't like and, say, popping it up. Still alive at 1-2. Terdoslavich leads off first. Heron ready to go. The pitch, swing and a miss. The ball getting away, though, from the catcher Jones, who throws to first base late. And the Barnstormers end up with runners at first and second. It took a couple of extra seconds for Hobson to recognize that that pitch had gotten away. Jones chased it to the backstop. Hesitated himself for a second or two, then fired. The whole play turned out to be a little bizarre and slow in developing. But the end result is that the Barnstormers have runners at first and second now for Josh Bell, who is 0 for 2. He has popped the ball up toward right center field both times. Once caught by the second baseman, the other time by the center fielder. 2 on with 2 out, 1 strike to Bell on the swing and the miss. Wild pitch, charge to Heron. And to Bell inside, ball 1, strike 1. Both times Bell has been up. He has had a runner at second base. He does again. 1-1 to him. Heron is off the inside corner. Bell had to move his feet there. 2-1. Three strikeouts now for Tyler Heron. He trails Bell in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Top of inning 5 to Bell, swinging a ground ball again right to the first baseman, Rosa. Heron continues to force the Barnstormers' left-handed batters to turn on that pitch and scorch it right into Rosa's glove. No runs here on a hit, no errors. The Barnstormers strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're halfway through regulation tonight. Lancaster continues to lead 3-2.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Top of the order, and Braylon Almadova leading off for the High Point Rockers. He is 0 for 2. He is grounded to short and fly to right. John Anderson continues to work with a 1-run lead, but it has been in danger the last couple of innings. Almadova cannot hold on the swing on a breaking ball. Anderson may have had the strike anyway. It is 0-1. Sugarland now up 6-2 over Long Island in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Skeeters trying to hang on to first place. They had a huge lead for the bulk of the first half, but it has begun to erode. Foul ball back, and Almadova is at 0-2. Barnstormers had seen Almadova just on a limited basis in the first two series, 2 out of 5. And the offering stays outside for ball 1. It's 1-2. Lancaster 3-2. It's been that way since the end of the second inning. Barnstormers have had 2 out base hits each of the last 3 innings. It's hard to build off of those. Fastball is up to Almadova. We go to 2-2. Almadova from Hawaii.
I said, what am I at? And she said,
Ground ball down the line at third. Foul, and Jamie Keefe. No Juice Gums points for you. Manager and third base coach fumbling that little chopper off the bat of Almadova. Second game between Somerset and New Britain is underway. Long Island leading by a game and a half in the division, but trailing. Swing and a foul tip. That is held. Almadova was behind Anderson there, and John gets his 4th strikeout with Miles Schroeder coming to the plate. Anderson, so far tonight anyway, has controlled Schroeder. The center fielder 0 for 2. He is struck out and flied to left. One towering thunderhead out well beyond the wall in left center field here, and the setting sun is glimmering off of that. First pitch is low and not handled by De La Rosa. Ball 1, no strikes on Schroeder. Tyler Ledendorf waits on deck. The Barnstormers with the 1-run lead. Anderson has allowed 5 hits. He has walked 1, another batter reaching base on a 3rd strike wild pitch. Just low, and it's 2-0 to Schroeder. Game 3 of the series coming up tomorrow night, again 6:30. Jonathan Albaladejo against Dominic Damasi. Battle of right-handers. Swing and a miss. 2-1 on Schroeder. Kyle Davies and Seth Simmons will face each other on Thursday night. And then the Barnstormers have the long bus trip back north, taking on York beginning Friday. Swing and a miss. So now 2-2. Schroeder, 2 pitches in a row as chased Anderson, it looked like, out of the zone. Right-handed batter up there, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson peering in. He has the sign from De La Rosa, and the offering hit in the air down the right field line. That ball is curling foul, and in a vicinity where Caleb Gindel can't get to it. It stayed, it appeared, on the field of play, bouncing off the side wall. But Gindel not anywhere near where that came down. Still 2-2 to Schroeder. John Anderson fires low. It skips through the legs of De La Rosa. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This inning and some of the other occurrences tonight have made me wonder if the ball, when it bounces off the artificial turf, doesn't react differently around the plate than it does out of the dirt. We've seen some pitches get through. And the payoff is popped up foul, back and out of play. The count stays 3-2 here on Schroeder. 1 out, bottom half of the 5th inning. Pitch counts are just about even. I have 76 for both unofficially. Anderson to the plate. He has walked Schroeder. The tying run on with 1 out, and Tyler Ledendorf coming to the plate. Ledendorf has flied out and reached on a 3rd strike wild pitch.
Second baseman, number 9.
2 walks given up by Anderson tonight, just 17, and better than 70 innings this year. He certainly can live with that. Ledendorf steps in with 1 out and the runner aboard. And see Lattimore stepping out into the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch, and a strike taken on the outer edge. Anderson ahead of Ledendorf, 0-1, starting him off with a fastball. Barnstormers turned 9 double plays on the last homestand, but none so far in this series. Anderson could use one now. Quick pitch, fastball swung on and missed. John Anderson changing the tempo there with Schroeder, who can run over at first. He has 4 stolen bases in 7 tries. This is Miles Schroeder. No balls, 2 strikes on the right-handed batting Ledendorf here. Anderson peering in, getting the signals from De La Rosa. The motion and the offering. Foul ball back into the twines. The count continues at no balls and 2 strikes. Anderson, through the first 4 innings, hadn't had to throw more than 20 pitches in any given inning, but this may get there. Long strike out of Almodovar, long walk by Schroeder. 0-2 still on Ledendorf. Anderson will come to the plate, and that also is fouled to the net. Still 2 strikes. Bouncing pitches tonight when ahead in the count is at times paid off for John Anderson. At other times it's cost him. And with the runner at first base, I'm not sure he's terribly inclined to do so now. The 0-2 instead of throw goes to first, and Miles Schroeder returns safely. Anderson has been called for 1 balk on a move to first base this season. And again, we watched the replay of that. It was a home game and depended on the angle. Runner starts, doesn't go. Swing and a miss by Lattimore. Or Ledendorf, rather. Lattimore coming up. That is strikeout number 5 for John Anderson tonight. Quincy Lattimore has been a thorn. Lattimore has reached on an infield base hit. He has doubled to left center. On the double, Ledendorf was thrown out trying to score and thrown out by quite a large margin, in fact, 8-6-2. On a beautiful relay by the Barnstormers, started by Andrew Applin, who had to cut that ball off to his glove side and wheel around. He did it beautifully. We had heard great things about Andrew defensively, and we certainly saw it on that play back in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 is high, 1-0 to Lattimore. Schroeder at first with 2 outs. Anderson peers toward the runner. Now into the dirt. It gets away from De La Rosa. Chance for a throw to second base. That won't be in time. And the ball skips past Gamache out into center. Schroeder advancing to 3rd. That will be a wild pitch and an E2 on De La Rosa. The tying run goes to 3rd with 2 outs. Lattimore can knot the ball game now with a single, and the count to him is 2-0. The first error charged to the Barnstormers in the series. The decision is made to walk Lattimore intentionally. and face the left-handed batting Rosa, who did single his last time up. He is 1 out of 2. Schroeder at third, Lattimore at first with 2 outs in the inning. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in the frame. Via Sergi Rosa with a chance to tie it up or more. 3-2 Lancaster. That lead threatened once again here in the 5th inning. Anderson to the plate. Rosa takes a strike. It is 0-1. It's been a fairly prolonged inning for John Anderson. Nothing put into play as of yet. Back to the dish. Rosa swings and misses. Anderson has him at no balls and 2 strikes. Trying to finish it off here and not have an encounter with Richie Schaefer in dangerous circumstances. Rosa batting 0-2. Schroeder leads off third. Lattimore off of first base. Anderson ready, and the pitch. He got him, a swing and a miss. De La Rosa will have to fire to first base to complete the out. 2-3 to end the inning. A 3-pitch strikeout of Rosa. The intentional walk works. No runs, no hits, an error, and 2 stranded by the Rockers. We're headed to the 6th inning tonight here in High Point, North Carolina. The Barnstormers still up by a score of 3-2.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Andrew Applin leads off the 6th against Tyler Heron. Applin is 0 for 2 with a fly ball to deep right and one of those ground balls to the first baseman, Rosa. All 4 of them have looked the same. Heron to the plate. Applin holds on ball 1 outside, 1-0. Heron has gone walk-free tonight. He has allowed 8 hits to the Barnstormers over 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned. 1-0 to Applin. Andrew looks at a strike on the outer edge. It is 1-1. Man who has played now for both the Lancaster Barnstormers and the Lancaster Jethawks. To the inside corner on the breaking ball, and Heron is ahead of Applin at 1-2. Anderson, De La Rosa, and Greg Golson to follow this inning. By the way, De La Rosa charged with a pass ball on the one offering to Lattimore. So pass ball and an E2 on the same play. 1-2 pitch, stays outside. Applin had a good look. 2-2 to the left-handed batting center fielder. Meanwhile, Asher Tolliver has started to warm up in the bullpen for High Point. He's a lefty. To Applin, fouled at the plate. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tolliver has mind-boggling numbers. He has to be sent to the All-Star game. I doubt we'll see him this inning until Michael Martinez. They'll let Herron face Applin, De La Rosa, and Golson, I would think. Applin bats at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch is lifted to shallow right center field. Backpedaling on this is the second baseman Ladendorf. He had to take one extra step at the end, but makes the catch, 1 out. Bringing on De La Rosa. Anderson tonight is 1 for 2, and he has scored a run. Herron has retired the first 2 batters in each of the last 3 innings. He has gotten Applin to start the 6th. De La Rosa trying to become a 1-out base runner, which he did accomplish back in the 2nd inning. Herron ready to go. De La Rosa pulls a grounder foul past Ross Peoples and down to the Lancaster bullpen. It will be retrieved out there by Garrett Granitz. The De La Rosa, here's the 0-1, hit in the air, left center field. Sprinting over to his left is Schaefer. He makes the catch in back of Schroeder, the center fielder. 2 are out in the inning, and Greg Golson comes to the plate. We'll see if he can keep the 2-out string of success alive. He did it in the 4th inning with a ground single up the middle, 1 for 2 for Golson here tonight. The Barnstormers had the lead early, but Lancaster can't build a threat against Herron. They keep putting together these 2-out base hits in last inning, followed by a 3rd strike wild pitch. Round ball here by Golson. Into the hole goes Alfonso. Long throw, not in time. Golson is able to beat it out. The first base umpire, Matt Saramil, right on top of it. 2 outs and a runner on. The batter is Martinez. Michael is 2 for 3 tonight. He will not be facing Tyler Herron. We talked about it, how with Tolliver throwing in the bullpen, Herron had 3 batters and 3 batters only here in the 6th inning. Lancaster gets to him for base hit number 9. So Jamie Keith goes to his bullpen. The left-hander Tolliver will be coming in. 3-2 Barnstormers, and we'll be back with Michael Martinez batting right after this.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company, supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Oh, toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Asher Tolliver has been very solid in this league for a couple of years. There's nothing that really stands out when you watch Tolliver, but his numbers do. 17 hits, 1 run this year in 24 1/3 innings. 2 outs. Michael Martinez, the batter, and Michael takes a fastball up. It is ball 1, no strikes. Tyler Herron lifted after 5 2/3 innings tonight, giving up 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. And of course, Golson is his responsibility. Swinging a foul ball back by Michael, who's 2 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still 3-2 Barnstormers with 2 outs and Greg Golson at first base here in the 6th inning. Not out of the question. You could see Martinez running. He's stolen 2. And the delivery is way outside to Martinez. 2 balls and a strike. The left-handed batting Dan Gamache waits on deck. Tolliver has walked 6 and struck out 18 in his 24 1/3 innings. Martinez batting 2-1. Tolliver to the plate. Big swing and a miss by Martinez. The count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4 straight innings. The Barnstormers' first 2 batters have been retired, and the 3rd hitter of the inning picks up a base hit. It has been Golson twice, legging out the single to the hole at shortstop. Right draws a throw from Asher Tolliver. Golson, the runner, he is 2 for 4 stealing.
Why'd you do that, Carson?
2-2 to Martinez with 2 outs here. Tolliver sets, brings it home. Fastball is up, 3-2. No longer a surprise. Golson will definitely be running here with a count of 3-2. Lancaster's first 3 batters of the night had ringing base hits. The bats have been much quieter since that. Runner goes, 3-2, is lifted to center. Starting back was Schroeder. He comes in and plenty of time to get there. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Kind of the same old song for the Lancaster Barnstormers. 4 innings in a row. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 6 with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 3 and the High Point Rockers 2.
What's up, Rocker fans? I'm over here on the 3rd.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
In those other games in the Atlantic League, the Somerset Patriots fell in game 1, 2-1, but the Patriots put 2 on the board in the first inning of game 2 to take a 2-0 lead over the New Britain Bees. They are through the first inning. 8-4, Sugarland leads Long Island now. They're in the bottom half of the 5th, and York is pounding Southern Maryland 12-2 through 4.5 innings. First pitch is a bit up to Richie Schaefer. Ball 1, no strike. Schaefer has doubled and grounded out. He has a run scored tonight. 1 out of 2 at the plate. John Anderson back with the 1-0 delivery. It's low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And Lancaster with action in the bullpen. A right-hander has started to throw, and he could come in at any moment. 2 balls and nothing to Schaefer. Anderson kicks, fires. He's high, ball 3. It is hot and humid here, and Anderson's pitch count has piled up. I have him at 90. 3-0 to Schaefer here in the 6th inning. Last inning could have been a backbreaker as far as that was concerned. He got out of it unscathed with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Big swing. Schaefer turned loose at 3-0. He left it behind 3-1. I'm sure that Ross is keeping a very close eye on John Anderson. Anderson trying for his 2nd consecutive quality start and his 5th total. Buddy Bauman and Kyle Davies tied for the team lead in that category with 7. 3-1 the count to Schaefer. Defense plays him to pull. And the pitch, ball 4, high and outside. That is the 4th walk given up by Anderson. Of course, one of those intentional. Hector Gomez is due. Gomez is 1 for 2. We'll see if Ross is going to make a move at any point here.
Number 6, Hector Gomez.
The infield sets at double play depth. This could be a delicate transition for Ross Peoples. Ground ball 3rd. That's handled by Terdoslavich. Gamache and Hobson, a very quick double play. That comes in quite handy for John Anderson right now. A 1-pitch trade for 2 outs. He'll go for that any day. 5-4-3 on Gomez. First double play turned by the Barnstormers in the series. That brings on Matthew Jones, who has reached on a fielder's choice and walked tonight. Jones, who had that more or less organizational catcher tag with the Arizona Diamondbacks, meaning they shipped him around the organization as needed. Swinging a foul ball back. No balls and a strike. That's pretty much what Anderson De La Rosa was at times in his career. And going back a ways, Lance Burkhart. But you learn a lot in that role. High fly ball here on the right side. Back goes Hobson and Gamache. In comes Gindel. Caleb takes it. Anderson through 6 innings. The double play, a godsend for John. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. The 5-4-3 twin killing helps greatly in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And through 6, the Barnstormers continue to lead 3-2.
Take it away, Brittany.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Dan Gamache starts off the 7th. 1 out of 3 for Dan tonight. He has scored a run. Asher Tolliver to the plate, and he misses inside. It is ball 1-0. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and the Barnstormers have stranded 7. High Point 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error with 6 men left on base. Gamache, Gindel, and Terdoslavich against the left-hander Asher Tolliver. here in the top of the 7th, swinging a foul ball back. Gamache up there at 1-1. Tyler Heron retired the first 2 batters in each of the last 4 innings before yielding a base hit with 2 gone. Nobody got past second base. Gamache fouls another back. And Tolliver has him at 1-2.
Brought to you by Blue Ridge Company.
Tolliver came in and got Michael Martinez to fly out, ending last inning. To Gamache 1-2, and it's popped up down the left field line into foul territory. Goes the third baseman Gomez. He'll take that for out number 1. Bringing on Gindel. Caleb is 1 for 3, a double and an RBI back in the first inning. These big guns in the middle of the Barnstormers batting order are slightly quieter these days than they had been previously. Others are picking it up. The catcher, certainly. Greg Golson. Zach Shanks driven in some runs. Gindel tries to bunt his way on. Fouls it back to the net. Down a strike here. It's 0-1. Devon Torrance had a 3 RBI game the other day. Zach Shank drove in 2. Ross is going to have some tough decisions to make when, at whatever point, Mercedes and Hood are reactivated. And what Ross is hoping is that between now and then, a couple of contracts get purchased. If you lose Gamache around the All-Star break, which certainly could happen, Mercedes would just slide right back into second base. Gindel with a swing and a foul tip, 1 ball and 2 strikes against Tolliver. If you lose an outfielder somewhere along the way, should say Gindel goes, you've got plenty to fill in. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Caleb Gindel. Got a lot of room down the left field line. Tolliver, a lefty from Arkansas, ready to go. Swung on and missed. Gindel is gone on strikes. And Asher Tolliver continuing to have a stellar season for the High Point Rockers. He did put these numbers up last year for Long Island. There was one game the Barnstormers beat him badly in the 8th inning and pulled out a contest last year against the Ducks. Joe Terdoslavich, the batter, 1 out of 3 for himself. And again, here we are with 2 outs and nobody on in an inning. Lancaster leading 3-2 here at High Point. The pitch bounced foul by Terdoslavich. No balls and a strike. Warm and muggy, as you would expect on the 2nd of July in the southeast. We are more toward the mountains here in High Point than we are the water, but it's still a ways to go before you hit the Smokies or whatever they would be down here. Ground ball to the left of the second baseman, Leidendorf. He fields. Tolliver posts a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th. We're at the stretch here in High Point with the score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 3 and the High Point Rockers 2.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
We go to the bottom of the seventh inning, and this is time for Ross Peebles to see how his bullpen is going to work. This may be the moment you get an indication where this club may be headed in the second half. A 3-2 lead. Lancaster has not been able to build upon that. And now Ross is going to look at Chassin here in the seventh inning. Alejandro is in. Maybe Schumann and Epley after that. Giovanni Alfonso leads off here in the seventh. He is 0 for 2 on the night. Chassin's first pitch is away. Ball 1-0. Alejandro Chassin in his 17th game, 1-0 with a 4.5 earned run average. Ball 2 just off the outside corner on Alfonso. Chassin working at 2-0. Lancaster up by 1 here. That is a strike to the inside corner. And now 2-1 to Alfonso. First batters off of Chassin, 3 for 11 with 2 walks and 2 sac flies. 2-1 offering, ground ball on the right side. Skipping right to Gamache. Quick throw to first, 1 out. Chassin wins the battle. And with 1 away, Breland Almadova comes to the plate. Almadova 0 for 3 against the starter, John Anderson. Anderson didn't have any really easy innings after the first tonight, but John gets through with a quality start and the chance to win his 6th of the year. 5 hits allowed, 2 runs in 6 innings with 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. Quality start number 5 for John Anderson. Second game in a row, he's given up 2 runs in 6 innings. Chassin delivers outside with a slider to Almadova, ball 1 and no strikes. Alejandro generally will get right-handed batters chasing that pitch, but Alfonso and Almadova have read it, and they have taken it each time. Chassin comes back with a fastball. That sets up everything else. A strike taken, it is 1-1. Miles Schroeder, the switch-hitting center fielder, waits on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike from Chassin. Breaking ball, nubbed back to the hill. Alejandro will take it a few steps closer to Hobson before flipping on. 2 outs in the inning. And the center fielder, Schroeder, coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. The bullpen was brilliant here last night. 4 hitless innings for the right-handers Sawyer, Echemendia, and Epley. Alejandro Chassin has retired the first 2 batters he has faced here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Schroeder stepping in. Things have started to get better for the Lancaster bullpen. First delivery to Schroeder, back to the outside corner. And Chassin works ahead, no balls and a strike. Alejandro trying for the hold. It would be his 4th. Strike 2, faded back to the outside corner. He's got Schroeder on the ropes at no balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Asher Tolliver has retired all 4 batters he has faced out of the High Point pen. Chassin to the plate, swing and a miss at the change. A 1-2-3 inning for Alejandro, nothing across. In the bottom half of the 7th inning, we are motoring ahead to the 8th here at High Point, North Carolina. Lancaster with a 3-2 lead.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Now pitching for your High Point Rockers.
Kyle Hansen, who could share a wardrobe with Somerset pitching coach John Hunt, takes over here in the 8th inning. 6 feet 8 inches tall is Hansen, listed at 200. I'm afraid that has some history behind it, no longer reality. He's facing Casey Hobson leading off here. Ground ball on the right side. Slowing down nicely for the second baseman Leidendorf toward the hole. One pitch and one out for Hansen. Josh Bell will step in at 0 for 3. Hansen has been tough to hit. He's only allowed 10 hits in now 18 innings, 5 runs all earned, with 7 walks and 9 strikeouts.
The DH, number 28, Josh Bell.
Big right-hander out of St. John's University, and he's a native of Long Island, but here in High Point. First pitch strike. It is 0-1 on Bell, who shortened up as if to bunt. Hansen pitched for Jamie Keefe last year with the Rockland Boulders, hence the connection. To bring him down here into the dirt for a ball. 1-1 the count to Bell. Andrew Applin waits on deck. Lancaster leading by that precarious 1 run here into the 8th inning. The bullpens have been perfect so far. Josh Bell looks at ball 2 off the outside corner, 2-1. Bell has made the final out in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th innings of this game. Batting here with 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. JB, it's a sky-high fly ball down the right field line into foul territory, and the second baseman Leidendorf is there to handle it. That is out number 2, and we'll bring on Applin, who is 0 for 3. Andrew took Breland Almadova to the warning track in right field, leading off the 2nd inning. He's since grounded out and popped up himself. 4 Barnstormers have struck out in this game. None has walked. Nine Lancaster base hits, all off the starter Heron. First pitch is strike 1 to Applin. It looked good, but the plate umpire Owens had to think about it for a moment. No balls and a strike here. Anderson De La Rosa waits on deck. 2 outs, nobody aboard in the 8th. The pitch is low. Ball 1 and a strike on Applin. They had a watch party today, inviting folks to come in and view the ball game. The soccer match, if you will, between the United States and Britain. And got a discussion going on in the field. Jamie Keefe came out. Hansen had said something initially, and now Ross Peoples having a conversation with the plate umpire Owens. It may have had to do with the count. It is 1-1. The scoreboard read 2-0, and it may have caught Owens there for a second. I think Keefe came out and said, wait a minute, it's 1-1. You called that first pitch a strike, and Owens said, oh, yeah, that's right, I did. Fouled at the plate here. Hansen has Applin at 1-2. I knew what the count was, even if there was some confusion. Leidendorf, Lattimore, and Rosa are scheduled in the 8th inning. And there is a right-hander warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. I would imagine it is Schumann. It certainly looks like him. I can't see the number from here. To Applin, line to left center field. He's got his first base hit here in the Atlantic League. Another 2-out base hit for the Barnstormers. He'll scoot back into first after making the turn. 10 Lancaster hits on the night. Anderson De La Rosa will step in with 2 outs and a man aboard. Applin singles to left center. De La Rosa, 1 for 3, will come to the plate.
The catcher, number
No
32,
Barnstormer has had
De La Rosa.
a big night, but only Bell has been held hitless. 2-hit games for Michael Martinez and Greg Golson. In both cases, both singles. De La Rosa stands in against Hansen. The set, the first pitch, right there for strike 1. Applin stole third last night on the front end of a double steal. Teamed up with Darian Sanford. You would generally think it would be the other way around. 1 strike to De La Rosa. Hansen a long time in the set. Finally steps off to peer over his shoulder and see what the runner is up to. Applin on with 2 outs. 5 times now in the last 6 innings. A 2-out base hit for the Barnstormers. Nothing before that. Now to De La Rosa. That is in the dirt, and a good job knocking it down by Jones. De La Rosa bats at 1-1. That could have easily gotten through and sent Applin to second base with an insurance run. One and one, the count to De La Rosa. Applin out to the lead, goes nowhere. Strike 2 delivered to the inside corner. The High Point pitching staff tonight has rarely bordered on issuing a walk. There may have been a couple of 3-2 counts sprinkled in. But they've generally been ahead, or the Barnstormers have swung early. Applin goes, the pitch is high and outside. Jones with a great throw to second base, cutting down the runner. 2-4. Barnstormers testing the waters on Matthew Jones, and they found out he could throw. He had a good pitch to handle. No runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Lancaster continues to lead just 3-2.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
the second part of the bullpen setup and a part that has been instrumental in the Barnstormers having winning seasons here the last 2 years. Scott Schumann is now on in the 8th inning in a close ball game. He wanted to try and start. It didn't go well. And Scott ended up, after throwing 82 pitches in 2 2/3 innings, spending about 7 weeks on the injured list. Let's talk about the numbers since he has come back. He has worked 3 innings. He's given up 1 hit. That was a home run by Will Kenger. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. But this is the role in which we have seen Schumann excel over the last 2 years. A 1-run lead in the 8th. Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman, to start things off. Ladendorf is 0 for 3. He struck out twice against the starter, John Anderson. Schumann ready to go. First pitch, very high. Ball 1, no strikes. Scott, the hardest thrower on this Barnstormers ball club. Still not back to 100% velocity, but clocking consistently at 94 on the gun at home. Misses outside, and he is behind Ladendorf, 2-0. Quincy Lattimore and Sergi Rosa to follow in the bottom of the 8th inning. It can take Schumann a few pitches, especially since he has come back, to get his bearings. Now, right now, he doesn't quite seem to have them. 2 balls and no strikes to Ladendorf. And the pitch missing down and away. Schumann is 3-0 to the leadoff batter here in the 8th inning. If he's going to struggle, get it out of the way now. The Barnstormers, including tonight, with 6 games remaining before the All-Star break. 3-0 to Ladendorf. Schumann ready to go. That missile is in for a called strike, 3-1. Lattimore on deck. He has not been retired in the game. Lancaster 3, High Point 2. It has been there since the bottom of the 2nd inning. Schumann into his windup. Here's the 3-1, and that is hit in the air to right and deep. Gindel going back. Gindel still retreating. Gindel to the warning track is there to make the catch. Ladendorf retired for out number 1. The heartbeat skipped there for a second, but the ball did not carry quite as well as we saw it earlier tonight in that direction. Schumann gets the out. Lattimore steps in. He has reached on an infield base hit. He has doubled to left center field and drawn an intentional walk. 2 out of 2 officially for Lattimore in the game. 1 out, nobody on. Alejandro Chassin got a hold last inning, a 1-2-3 frame. Schumann to the plate. Fastball is high to Lattimore. Ball 1, no strikes on the designated hitter for Jamie Keefe's club tonight. The left-handed batting first baseman Sergi Rosa waits on deck. Scott Schumann ready with the 1-0. That's a strike to the outside corner. It is 1-1. Meanwhile, another right-hander is warming up in the bullpen. In fact, a couple of them warming up in the bullpen now for High Point. They've got dual action going on. 1-1. Schumann to Lattimore. He is low for ball 2. Defense back in the no doubles. Schumann delivers, swing and a foul ball back. Lattimore bats at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam Runyon is one of the right-handers. And I believe the other is Ryan Kelly. 2-2 to Lattimore. Schumann getting the sign from De La Rosa. 1 out, bottom of the 8th in a 1-run game. Scott ready to go. The motion and the pitch. He is upstairs with the heat. It is 3-2. Lattimore, 9 home runs on the year. Also has 10 doubles. and he spent a little bit of time away from this ball club. His contract purchased at one point down in Mexico. He returned recently. Schumann with the payoff pitch, popped up to shallow left field. On comes Golson. He is there for out number 2. Schumann has survived a pair of 3-ball counts here in the 8th inning. And with 2 away, the left-handed batting via Sergi Rosa steps in. Rosa 1 for 3 against John Anderson. Scott Schumann tries to get the ball game tonight to Cody Epley. Epley recorded his 99th career Atlantic League save last night, but it would be Cody's 3rd game in a row. Here's the pitch to Rosa, foul ball back. And via Sergi had one thought in mind with that swing, and it wasn't to slap a base hit the other way. 0-1 to the tall, lean left-handed batter. Schumann shaking off De La Rosa. They get together with the count of 0-1. Here is the pitch. Rosa fouls it back again, and once more, he left nothing behind. 2 strikes to Rosa. He struck out on a pitch in the dirt back in the 5th inning for the final out with runners at 1st and 3rd. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball wasted high and wide. Ball 1, 2 strikes to Rosa. Richie Schaefer waits on deck. De La Rosa, Golson, and Martinez will be scheduled in the Barnstormers half of the 9th inning. Schumann doesn't like a baseball, rolls it off to the side, gets another. Via Sergi Rosa at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schumann fires, and again, he's up and away. We go to 2-2. Scott has gotten a couple outs, but he does not look like he's got a great feel out there tonight. 2-2, and the pitch. Got him with a fastball, a swing and a miss. Scott Schumann hardly ever goes through an inning without a strikeout, and he doesn't tonight. It is 1-2-3 for the High Point Rockers against Schumann in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It looks like this bullpen is starting to get aligned for manager Ross Peoples for the second half. We'll go to the 9th inning. Lancaster ahead 3-2.
Don't strike out when in need of new appliances for your home. Come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Lancaster County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Sam Runyon is the new pitcher for the High Point Rockers. De La Rosa, Golson, and Martinez scheduled in the Lancaster half of the 9th inning. Runyon's first pitch to the outside corner and a strike on De La Rosa. Anderson was batting against Kyle Hansen last inning when Andrew Applin was cut down trying to steal. Runyon, the 3rd reliever used by Jamie Keefe in the game. The offering to De La Rosa, foul to the top of the screen. Sam Runyon, who is from the Tar Heel State, gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. The leadoff batter here in the 9th inning. Runyon 2-2 with a 3 ERA. He's in his 25th game. Schaefer, Gomez, and Jones, the scheduled hitters in the bottom of the 9th, and Epley is already getting tuned up. De La Rosa, ground ball toward the middle, but the second baseman, Leidendorf, is there. He throws out Anderson. 1 away in the top of the 9th. Golson stepping in. Greg is 2 for 3. He has struck out the other time up. One of the 2 Barnstormers with multiple hits in the game. Michael Martinez, the on-deck man, is the other. Lancaster struck for 3 runs on 5 hits in the first 2 innings. The bats have been pretty quiet since. Runyon to Golson, fastball by him, a swing and a miss. It is 0-1. Epley will be facing Schaefer and Gomez for a second straight night. He got them both to ground out in the bottom of the 10th last night. Golson gets a breaking ball swinging and missing. It's 0-2. The way this game started, we did not anticipate still being at 3-2 in the 9th inning. The bullpens have been all but spotless. Kyle Hansen gave up a base hit to Applin last inning. Golson watches it slide down and away. He wouldn't chase. It is ball 1. It's been 6 up and 6 down for the Lancaster relievers so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runyon to Golson. Greg looks at strike 3. The fastball gets the outside corner. That was a nasty combination. Runyon making great pitches. 2 outs. Martinez the batter. Michael is 2 for 4. 5 strikeouts total for High Point pitching tonight. Again, no walks for the Rocker staff. Last night, they walked 5. And it created some issues. Here is Martinez. First pitch, fastball barely missing. Ball 1-0. Dan Gamache is on deck should the Barnstormers need him here in the 9th inning. Runyon with that high position to begin with deals a breaking ball. Martinez swings over the top. It is 1-1. Sam Runyon, who is a tall man to begin with. He is 6'4", starts with his hands high over his head, and then he has a way of twisting his wrist almost backwards into the windup. Martinez pops up a bunt. This coming to the backstop. Jones sprinting back there, can't get it. It glances off the net. Martinez bats at 1-2. Michael had singles in each of the first 2 innings tonight. Scored a run in the first, and what is now the difference in the ball game, scored on his base hit in the second as Miles Schroeder let the ball get through him. Anderson De La Rosa able to chug all the way around from first and score on the single and error. The offering to Martinez, 1-2. He swings and misses, and a brilliant inning for Sam Runyon, setting the side down in order with 2 strikeouts. So now, once again, it will be Cody Epley against the High Point Rockers with a 1-run lead. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Lancaster 3, High Point 2.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and dinner package weeknights at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Monday nights feature an all-you-can-eat pig roast in the Haller Pavilion, courtesy of Hess's Barbecue. Tuesday night is all-you-can-eat chicken and ribs in the pavilion, or all-you-can-eat tacos in the Bobby Rahal Lexus Suite. Wednesday nights are Wiener Wednesdays with $1 Burke's hot dogs from the main concession stands, or all-you-can-eat wings from Joe's Wings and Wieners upstairs. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets, or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Cody Epley will pitch for the third consecutive day. He's done it before this year. Man who ranks fourth all-time in the Atlantic League in career saves, but this one would be a milestone if he can notch it. It would be number 100 for the 6'5" right-hander from Mechanicsburg. Epley for the year holds a record of 1-2 with the 11 saves and a 3.18 earned run average. He got the side in order in the 10th last night on 3 straight ground balls. The gift runner at second base never moved, and Lancaster held on to win 7-6. Cody trying to avoid going to extra innings tonight. His first pitch to Richie Schaefer across for a strike. It is 0-1. Schaefer has doubled, grounded out, and walked tonight. Power you certainly have to respect. Epley got him on a comebacker in last night's game. No balls, 1 strike. Cody is back, down and away. Schaefer bats at 1 each. Hector Gomez and Matthew Jones scheduled to follow, with the Barnstormers leading by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Fast start for the offenses, but tonight has turned into a pitcher's duel. The 1-1 offering, swinging a ball belted to left center field. Racing over on it is Applin. He dives and can't get to it. The left fielder Golson having to back him up, and Schaefer takes the tying run to second base with nobody out. Applin went all out and came up just shy of a sensational catch out in left center field. Schaefer, were he faster, would have been easily at third base, and we'll see if the Rockers decide to pinch run here. Schaefer with his second double of the game, rocked to the gap out in left center. Hector Gomez, the batter. Gomez is 1 for 3 with a run batted in. He hit into a double play back in the 6th inning, so Epley is being tested here. Schaefer crushed that ball, but he didn't get it high enough. Applin came close to robbing him. The corners play up for the bunt. I don't expect that here out of the High Point Rockers. Epley to the plate. Gomez takes the ball outside, 1-0. One ball, no strikes to Gomez. Schaefer leads off second. Ball 2 is down and away. It is 2-0. Again, these are batters that Epley faced a night ago. Tying run in scoring position with nobody out, but that's the situation that faced Cody last night. Matthew Jones, the catcher, waits on deck. Epley backs off and, for the moment, straddles the rubber.
No, we don't need him.
Gomez bats 2-0, the pitch. Slider for strike. Epley back in the fight at 2-1. Schaefer leads from second. Epley goes to work, 2-1. Topper foul up the line at third. 2-2. Corners will certainly back up now. Epley could use a strikeout, a pop-up, or a ground ball to the left side here. Schaefer, I don't think, would try to advance to third on any ground ball hit near Michael Martinez. We saw in the last play he is not a very fast guy. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Edwin Gomez. Epley getting the sign from Anderson De La Rosa. Cody ready to go, and the pitch looped down the right side, but foul. Still 2-2. Gomez can go that way. In fact, in a 3-run rally against Jared Lakin on our last trip here, he got it started with a flare down the right field line. High Point with a left-hander warming up in the bullpen in case we go to a 10th inning. That's Brian Clark. We saw him for an inning last night. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hector Gomez here. Schaefer leading from second base. Epley glances him back. Here's the pitch, and it's rolled toward the middle and through for a base hit. Schaefer is coming. Applin with the throw. That's not in time. Back to second, and Gomez is in there with the potential winning run. Hector Gomez does it to the Lancaster Barnstormers one more time. His second RBI tonight. He has driven in 11 runs in the season series. Save number 100 has not happened for Cody Epley. Meanwhile, Applin may require some attention out in center field. Ross comes out. Anya Holmberg comes out. And they get waved off by the center fielder. But now the winning run is carried by Gomez at second base with nobody out, and Matthew Jones, the catcher, is due. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. This may be a function of Epley throwing for the 3rd straight night.
The catcher, number 17, Matt.
And now High Point with the opportunity to win the game. Epley has been hit this year. Schaefer with the double, Gomez the single, taking second on the throw home. I understand the attempt by Applin. Now to Jones, a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1 as Cody Epley looks to get us to extra innings. 3-3 ball game. Chassin and Schumann get the holds tonight, but Epley cannot nail the game down in the bottom of the 9th inning. The pitch cut on and missed by Jones. Cody is ahead at 0-2. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, waits on deck, and then Breland Almadova. Epley has given up base hits to 2 right-handed batters. He would need to get through this one and 2 more without giving up the winning base hit. Hector Gomez leads off second. Jones awaits the 0-2. Epley ready to go. It's taken down and away for ball 1. We talk about Epley and base hits this season. He has now allowed 34 in 22 1/3 innings. That's an average of about 13.5 per 9 innings. Starting the night, opposing hitters were at 333 against him. 1-2. Epley goes to work on Jones. The pitch is down, and it trickles away from De La Rosa. Maybe a play at third, and the throw is dropped by Turdoslavich as Gomez arrives safely. Lancaster had the out, and Turdoslavich was unable to handle the throw. Winning run has advanced to third. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jones, and we'll see how that is ruled. De La Rosa failed to handle the pitch cleanly.
Hey, catch the bat and you do good.
But Anderson had the throw to third base, it appeared. And it got away from Turdoslavich on the slide in by Gomez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Matthew Jones. and I believe will be ruled a pass ball. And now the 2-2 hit in the air to deep center field. It'll win the ball game. It'll go down as a base hit for Matthew Jones. 3 straight hits off Cody Epley in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the High Point Rockers remain alive in the race. They win this one 4-3. 1 run in the or 2 runs rather in the inning on 3 hits. No errors, nobody left on base, and the bullpen still with a little more work to do for the Lancaster Barnstormers. High Point pulls this one out. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final tonight, the High Point Rockers 4 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 3.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
The High Point Rockers have all season long been a deadly team on offense. Last night they couldn't get to Cody Epley in the bottom of the 10th, but getting to face him for a second straight night. Again, Epley in for 3rd consecutive day, and Cody wasn't able to contain the Rockers in the bottom half of the 9th. The line totals tonight for High Point, 4 runs on 8 hits with 1 error, and they ended up leaving 7 along the way this evening. The Barnstormers 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and also 7 runners left on the bases. The win goes to Sam Runyon. He is now 3-2. The loss to Cody Epley, he falls to 1-3. No save in the ball game. We also did not see a home run here tonight. The time of the game was roughly 2 hours, 38 minutes. We don't have the exact figure, nor is the attendance posted in the online box score as of yet. We'll get that to you if we have the opportunity. The Barnstormers came out tonight like a house on fire. Michael Martinez scorched a single into right field to start the night. Dan Gamache lined a base hit in left center, sending Martinez to third. Caleb Gindel doubled to left center field, driving Martinez home. Runners were at second and third, nobody out. And 1 out later, Casey Hobson made it 2-0 with a sacrifice fly to moderately deep center field. Lancaster would add a 3rd run in the 2nd inning. Anderson De La Rosa singled into left center field with 2 outs. Michael Martinez grounded a base hit to the right of the second baseman Tyler Ladendorf. Miles Schroeder, the center fielder, went to scoop it up with Martinez loping to third, and Schroeder let the ball get right through him for an error. De La Rosa, rather not Martinez, but De La Rosa on his way to third. He came around to score on the play. The Barnstormers were up 3-0. The Rockers got back into the ball game in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. A leadoff base hit to the hole at shortstop for Quincy Lattimore. Michael Martinez made the backhanded stop. He looked to bounce the throw to Casey Hobson, which you can generally do off turf, but he bounced it too short, and the ball skipped a couple of times, was late. getting Lattimore. After Sergi Rosa popped out, Richie Schaefer banged his first double of the night, a ground rule two-base hit to the gap in right center field. Hector Gomez singled past the diving third baseman Ternaslovich, driving in one, and Matt Jones hit a ground ball to Casey Hobson. The Barnstormers, with a communication mishap, failed to turn two as the second run scored. We stayed there all the way until the bottom of the ninth, but again it was Schaefer, this time with a double to the gap in left center field. Andrew Applin nearly with an heroic catch to start the inning. He came up short. Schaefer ended up at second. Gomez rolled a single up the middle to drive him home. Gomez took second on the throw to the plate and then went to third on what was ruled as a wild pitch, charged to Epley. And finally, Matthew Jones with a drive to left center field, which would have been a sacrifice fly. Applin just let it go. It was going to win the game regardless. An RBI single for Jones, and the High Point Rockers win tonight 4-3. That will keep the Rockers in the hunt in the Liberty Division race as we look at the other scores around Atlantic League Baseball tonight. In Southern Maryland, York is belting the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It just will not end. The Revs are up 18-3 in the bottom of the seventh. Long Island has started to sneak back on Sugar Land. The Skeeters own a 12-7 lead at the end of 7 innings. In game one of a doubleheader, New Britain tripped up Somerset 2-1. The Patriots lead the second game of that twin bill by a score of 4-3. Now the Rockers have to await the other outcomes. If Sugar Land holds off High Point, the Skeeters will be up 2.5 still over York. The magic number will be 2 coming out of the evening. Long Island will fall to 39-25. They will be 2 up on High Point. High Point does have all the tiebreakers. I checked that out last night. Somerset, if the Patriots can gain a split, will be 39-26. They would be a half game behind Long Island and 1.5 ahead of High Point. It is still a 3-way race. The New Britain Bees are pretty much out of it in the Liberty Division. So it's still very interesting. The Barnstormers were hoping to take their second in a row from the High Point Rockers, but they couldn't sustain the early momentum offensively tonight. The bottom of the second was quirky. No errors were there, but there were plays that could have been made and weren't. And then Cody Epley having come in for the third straight day. That has not worked for Cody before. It certainly didn't work here. He never got an out in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and career save number 100 in the Atlantic League will have to wait another day. On the Major League schedule tonight, the Boston Red Sox own a 7-2 lead at Toronto. That ball game is now in the top half of the 7th inning. Play is restarted at Nationals Park, where the host Nats lead the Miami Marlins 2-1. They're only in the bottom of the third. A rain delay is ongoing in Pittsburgh. The Pirates leading the Cubs 2-0 there. In the Subway Series, play is in the bottom of the 6th at Citi Field, with the New York Yankees leading the New York Mets 2-1. Tampa Bay is up 4-1 over the Baltimore Orioles in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Milwaukee leads Cincinnati 4-3. The game is in the 8th. The Phillies own a 2-0 lead over the Atlanta Braves, top 7. The LA Angels, playing with heavy hearts tonight, trail the Texas Rangers 2-1. Play is in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Detroit rained out on the south side of Chicago against the White Sox. Houston owns a 5-2 lead over Colorado into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cleveland is up over Kansas City 6-1. They are in the bottom of the 3rd. Minnesota's at Oakland later on. San Francisco at San Diego. St. Louis is at Seattle, and Arizona at Dodger Stadium tonight, taking on L.A. The Lancaster Barnstormers pulled one out late last night. They lose one late here this evening, falling 4-3 to the host High Point Rockers in the second game of this 4-game series. Play will continue tomorrow night. Jonathan Albaladejo, fresh off his first win of the season against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs back on Friday, will match up against Dominic DeMasi. Al Baladejo is 1-3. DeMasi is 2-1. Game time 6:30 tomorrow night. They expect a packed house here at High Point. They will have fireworks each of the next 2 nights, and I am going to be losing this wonderful broadcast location that I have had here the past 3 games in High Point. It looks like I may have to move out tomorrow night down the right field line once again. So our final tonight, the High Point Rockers 4, the Lancaster Barnstormers 3. Join us tomorrow night with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 6:15 and the play-by-play action to follow. Until then, for our assistant Joey Greer, for all the cast and crew back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, getting everything prepared for this big weekend coming up against the York Revolution, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.